Last week I promised you that we would be meeting today the keyboard player on the Get Out the Boat album. And here he is. His name is Mark Walker.
Right, this is my friend Mark Walker, who played piano or keyboards on our last album, the Get Out the Boat album. And he's an extraordinary man that really inspired us. So I really wanted to introduce him to you. So hello, Mark.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Penny. Hi.
Now, of course, you were dug out very rapidly by Aaron Bixby, because the keyboardist that had done the previous albums was in America, and he was stuck in America, and he wasn't going to get back at the time that everybody else could get in the studio. And there was this moment of this God moment when Mark Walker was available, which kind of and the first thing I knew about you was some of the bands that you play with. So can we just do a sort of a précis list of the bands that you play with and the artists that you play with?
Oh, wow.
Simply Red is one of them.
Simply Red. Gosh, a long time ago. Westlife. I'd probably just finished a tour with them not so long after obviously meeting you guys.
Right.
Oh gosh, who else? Anita Baker, CeeLo Green, Corinne Bailey Rae. Well, 25 plus years of number one art.
Yeah, and you still look 17. Yeah, I know it's not really very fair, but
25. I was a baby when I was touring.
Just a baby. Yeah. And you started playing with drums, didn't you? How old were you when you started playing drums?
So, in fact, my parents actually reminded me. They said I was 3 years old. When I picked up, which were actually pens, my dad's birthday gifts. Some pens, and literally, I think I had some cushions. You know, like adverts and stuff used to come on TV, like the Topic advert.
Yeah.
You know,
so did classic music tunes.
Yes, I used to just put the cushions around me like toms, like drums and cymbals, and including my dad's head. Yeah. So I used to put my legs around the top of his head, sit on the top of the sofa, and used to just be like, 3 years old. And then I played in church. I used to sit on guys' knees because I couldn't reach the pedals. You wouldn't believe it. Yeah, so we'd have like concerts and church concerts and stuff, and it'd be like, hey, let's get your Mark to play. So again,
you were playing in public. So you were playing in church from a very early age,
very early age,
and then outside church doing sort of more secular stuff. What age was that from?
Right. So actually, it's kind of a bit of both. So my first gigs were through gospel concerts and stuff that was happening. So I was 13 years old. So I learned to play keyboards then. 11, 12 years old, and then I was gigging at 13. So there was like a lot of concerts, gospel concerts up and down the country.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that some of the musicians that I was headlining with or doing different shows with were actually from the same church in London, but they'd already got into the secular and pop scene.
Yes.
And was like, bro, like, do you fancy coming to London and doing some work? So I was 18. Yeah, I was 18 when I got into the pop scene and stuff. So
and in fact, you shared on Facebook a few months ago a little bit of footage, or maybe it was just some still photographs of you playing as a real youngster. And I'm going to ask you to share those on the Intuita group, please.
Okay.
So you had
I'll try.
I can't remember what it was, but they were just great, and it just gave us a real insight as to who you were.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So of course you then, as an amazing drummer, and we just knew you. We knew you as a keyboard player. So when did playing piano and keyboard start?
So that started when I was 11, 12 years old. So my parents had a piano, just an old piano in the house. And one day my dad he's always cooking and stuff. So he was in the kitchen, and I was just thinking on the piano, and he was like, "Yeah, go on, play something. Try and learn a song." So first song I ever played was "Amazing Grace." So it was,
Wow.
well, I just so happened to be sat by my piano, so I was literally like, and then he was like, "Oh no, come on! It's like I know you've got some knowledge of music, you know, what I mean, and notes and stuff." So I tried to harmonize it. So I was like, type thing, and then after a while, I just started to open up and expand and practice. So yeah, I was 12. Yeah,
Do I
12
assume
years
your
old.
dad is a musician?
Yeah, he's a guitarist, so he plays guitar,
So
and then my
he was,
mom. Yeah, so my dad was a guitarist and sang a little bit, but then my mom used to play in church.
yeah.
She used to play church organs and piano, little jacket around the neck. Yeah, yeah.
So you were
So
surrounded by encouragers.
surrounded, yeah, and obviously the music that was being played at the time as well was, um, late Hawkins family and the Crouch family, and I'm a big Billy Preston
Yeah,
fan.
totally get that. Yes.
That just set me up.
And I
Well,
think that's,
between Billy Preston, Andre Crouch, the Hawkins, I think that was just the piano
yeah,
sonics and sounds that I was hearing as a kid in the
yeah.
house, and that's kind of what's influenced me quite a lot.
Do you know, I think Andre Crouch was the first live artist I went to see. I
Wow.
suspect. I absolutely
Wow.
love Andre Crouch.
Yeah,
And he,
man.
apparently he always used to say this, the beginning of the concert said, "We're not going to have a concert tonight, we're going to have a church."
Church. We're gonna have
And
church. Yeah,
and I
yeah.
remember just singing my heart out all the way through this concert. Poor
Yeah,
people
yeah.
around me because I could sing loud.
Right, yeah.
I probably wrecked it
Amazing.
for a lot of other people.
Amazing human being. I wish I'd met him actually, because it's last year. Funny enough, I was supposed to have been playing for his sister.
Right.
Sandra Crouch was going to be coming over to do a show in Birmingham
All
actually.
right.
So, but of course it never happened.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah, so you can imagine the set list and songs that we were going to be doing were their brothers and hers. Do you know what I mean?
He was a great writer. He really was.
Oh yes, still playing the songs now. Still,
Yeah,
take me back
exactly,
and
exactly. Now, and the
yeah,
thing is, of course, so you're gigging. I mean, I imagine coronavirus has looked a little bit static for you,
yeah,
um, but normnormally, coronavirus pushed to one side. You are gigging a lot. You'll be out late on a Friday night, a Saturday night,
yeah,
all over the place. And yet,
yeah.
one of the stories that you told us when we were recording that last album was that regardless of where you are the night before, you will be back to play in church on Sunday morning. Is that right?
That's yeah, that was always it's always been my yeah. I mean, it's my lifestyle really. I think it was the initial shock of when I was 18 and going to London, and it was a big thing back then. You know,
Yeah,
in early 90s, my parents were obviously going to be a little bit concerned
yeah,
of music I was going to be playing in the environment, etc. But it was fine. Do you know what I mean? But then as soon as I got back, I was straight back in church.
yeah,
And it was a way of just staying grounded, I guess. So whether I was in church or even during the week, I'd make sure I go and see my friends, because obviously the level of the stuff I was doing, for a lot of people, you just get caught up in it, get caught up in hype, and
yeah,
you know
yeah,
the celebrity of it, and this and that
yeah,
and the other. And I was like, I'm still the same Mark, still going
yeah,
out and playing football and hanging out, and I'd make it a priority to go and see people,
yeah.
friends, whatever, and stay true to my faith. Stay faithful and serve.
That must have been
That's
must have been a serious witness to the artists you were working with.
Yeah, I mean, it was a challenge all around, to be honest, Penny. Do you know what I mean? Because it was one of those ones where, people felt that they could, um, it's almost like living a life through you or out of you, in the sense of people were like, oh, what you doing in London, and what you doing in music isn't this, and da 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 da. And I'm like, no, but I know it's for a reason, because at the age of 12, you know, I saw all of this happening, everything that's happened, and the journeys and the stadiums and this and that was, you know,
Yeah.
and the gigs I was going to be doing have all happened and come true.
Yeah.
But I always knew deep down there was another purpose behind it.
Yeah.
And like you said, you just never know what God's doing in the midst of it, and the witness of it. And yeah, I've had countless conversations, you know, with you know, my colleagues and artists and different people, which is quite an intense responsibility, you know, when you're getting millions of people following you,
Yeah.
you know, but then those artists are just still human beings.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
human beings with issues just like
Absolutely.
everybody else. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, those conversations had to be, you know, had to be on point, you know, and in the spirit of it.
Yeah.
You know, where there was times where God had prepared me for certain things, certain conversations.
Yeah. Absolutely
Absolutely
amazing.
amazing.
I know
I
that you really inspired us. That whole
whole
you're so grounded, and it really struck all of us very strongly.
Oh, bless you guys. Thank
So now we're in a time of COVID,
Yeah.
and what has COVID brought to you that has been new, or what have you learned or done that's been new through COVID?
Oh gosh, I think it's kind of pushed me into an intense, I don't know, drive, I guess. Like for instance, obviously I've been in the studio and stuff, and between that and the live work, I
Yeah.
wasn't doing as much studio stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, once all of the gigs and everything had gone, schedules no longer matter. Do you know what I mean? So right. So little things like obviously from a career perspective and music wise, my lights are flashing.
It's very disco.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It just adds to your.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I literally just got into just writing stuff and, you know, creating music as a platform and a way of kind of exposing my production work, I guess. So I did a little, you know, 1 minute clip of some music just to kind of put it out there.
Yes.
I'm an multi-instrumentalist.
Yes.
Etc.
Yes. Yeah.
And then just got on with other bits and pieces, you know, people were talking to me about that. But then the other side of it, just regarding you know, being a husband and father.
Yeah.
There was that bit where I was like, I was out walking every day and, you know, found myself cooking and doing all of this other stuff. But then I'd kind of schedule it in a way where I was like, right, I'll make sure from 7 o'clock I am chilling in front of the TV. So I'm like watching, Downton Abbey and Westworld.
Yeah.
And I'm like getting into all of this stuff, you know, at the same time. And then obviously our church online was developing how I was going to make things work and continue, you know, the whole streaming thing, which has been amazing as well, actually. So it was constant. There was always something going on every day. Do you know what I mean? Work wise and yeah. I mean, my daughters, obviously, I hadn't seen them for about three or 4 months because they were in Leeds with their mum and stuff. So I didn't see them until, gosh, it was like late May, June. Do you know what I mean? So that was a whole kind of other world for me. You know, having the 6 of us together. And then just all of the general stuff that had been going on just regarding bereavements, and that's been tough.
You've had a tough year, haven't you?
So from that perspective, I'm kind of understanding the grace of God and where I get my strength from, because it's like in the natural and on paper, like I'm supposed to be
broke
issues now.
Yeah.
Literally. And that's it. I'm still smiling. Do you know what I mean? Because and that's the thing. It's like, you know, if I was to get into the details, like
Yeah.
Share the amount of people in my space that have left.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? From family members and stuff overnight, and
Yeah.
siblings and stuff.
That you have lost.
It's too overwhelming to even talk about.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to have to make people feel what I'm because it's intense, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I've shared a few. You know, I've shared a few on Facebook and done a few tributes and stuff. But that's literally 5 people or whatever over the past year. You know, from Christmas, obviously Christmas Day, and then up to last week, there's been people. So, you know, the COVID thing. I think just mentally having to adjust in being safe. You know, because I put my hands up. I was one of those. As soon as the news hit, I was like, oh, what we dealing with, really? Is it real? You know, and then when it hit my family and friends, and there were people in hospital, like texting from hospital and taking photographs with these things, and they were like, dude, bro, this thing is no joke, man. It's no joke. Do you know what I mean? So, and then even up until recently, like I said, even up until last week, you know, I asked my friend and stuff. I'm like, what happened to Sean? And what was it? Because there has been different illnesses and stuff, you know, cancer. I don't want to dismiss any of that.
Yeah.
But they were like, it's COVID. Like, Mark, it's COVID. All 3 of us had it, you know. And that's what it was. And they were the same. They were like, you know, at first, like, you know, this thing ain't real. And then the whole village has caught it. Do you know what I mean? And then next thing, you know, they try to wake her husband up. Do you know what I mean? So there's been those adjustments, you know, mentally, just going, you know, doing life and pushing forward, and you know, trying to support everybody, you know, family and friends all over the place, all over the world, having conversations, because that's been my thing. In the second anybody comes to mind, regardless of who they are, where they are on the planet, I'm texting them, and there's a reason why God had maybe, you know, placed them on my heart. And it's been significant timing. You know, and that's the response I've had when people going, how on earth have you even done that? If I was to tell you what I'm going through now, there's always been an event. So whether it's a birthday or they're just going through something but haven't spoken about it, it's like the silence is deafening. Makes sense, you know. But I can only talk that speak about that from a space of the Holy Spirit. You know,
it nudges us. The Holy Spirit nudges us, and that's one of the biggest things, is learning to listen to those nudges, and it is so important.
And now it's like and being confident in that's who it is. Do you know what I mean? Because it's, you know, because sometimes you're going, is that you good? Why am I doing that? Why is Penny? Why is Kevin? Why is so and so come to mind? You know what I mean? But there's been a consistency, and it's like I've been careful in not, you know, in making sure God gets the glory out of it. Do you know what I mean? And when I respond and send that text message and push send, how are you? What's going on? Do you know what I mean? And then you go from there, and then you know, sometimes whether it's through my music or just the friendships, man, like, you know, lives are being saved behind the scenes. People, you know, there's a host of our people going through stuff, you know, issues, and even in this time, it's vital and important that we're all connected.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Because it just takes conversation or a hello or that just saves. Do you know what I mean? And I'm finding that, like, I'm kind of tapping more into that space as well. Actually, that's another thing I've always done, but I'm just more intent with it now and more obedient and respond immediately.
And getting to recognize the voice more and more as a result. So key.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, it's yeah, learning stuff. Still going, still pushing.
Well,
Um,
Mark, thank you very, very much indeed. I'm conscious that I've kept you a long time. Mark is planning a
that's
new
all right.
kitchen, or Mark and his lovely wife Dawn are planning
Yeah.
a new kitchen, and we've been trying to fit this interview around meetings
Yeah.
online to do with the kitchen. So,
Yeah. There's all these plans and stuff. You don't know these plans and stuff.
well,
So
bless you. May the Lord keep you safe. Thank you so much
yeah.
for your time today,
Yeah. Bless you,
and
Fanny.
can't wait to see
Yeah.
you again. You take care and God bless.
Take care. God bless.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So that was Mark Walker. And in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be interviewing somebody that played bass on all 4 of our albums. He's an amazing bass player, but he also keeps pygmy goats. Wait and see.